Hello, board gamers, and welcome to another one of my video blogs, Austin's Benchmark. I think this is episode 23. We will probably end up starting a new season sometime soon here. Probably do a fairly massive format overhaul. I think I'm going to do something a little bit more formal, try to have a little more polish on it through conversations with Dave this year so far. I think one of our goals is going to be to present a more polished finish on a lot of the videos. Hopefully you guys have seen some of that so far. I think it's pretty well evidenced by the fact that a lot of the new bat reps have the big scorekeeper thing up around, so you've got the turn and whose turn it is, or turn number, and who's actively playing right now, kill points or victory points or whatever, just so that at a glance you can tell what point in the game you are, who's winning, or at least who's ahead. So yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of good growth this year, and really even more mature look and feel to a lot of the video content coming out of Mini Wargaming and Brush for Hire. For those of you who aren't aware, I actually do have a degree in film and video production, so I actually have sort of thrown a lot of that information by the wayside over the years, just going for let's get content out there quick. And while sometimes I've stopped to actually take the time and make something that looks nice and is polished and really shines, most of the time that's just the tutorials. Aside from that, just doing stuff on YouTube, not necessarily the most polished looking stuff out there, especially compared to some of the guys who are just knocking it out of the park recently. Basically anything that comes out of Wargame Consortium is always really nice and polished and has lower thirds and icons and all kinds of things on the screen, that intro sequence that they do. Plus Schnauzer Face Minis, he's got probably some of the most polished videos out there on YouTube, and for good reason. He does teach I think video production in a high school. So I am going to go over to Mini Wargaming right now, and we're going to take a look at some of the comments from the previous blog and see if we've got any pertinent questions there that have not been answered elsewhere. Let's see what we have. Blog. Ah, there they are. Vlogs at the top. Well, there's just not been that many recently. Okay, I thought I'd gone like a really long time without doing one, but let's see what we got. Oh, not very many questions at all, actually. Let's see. Colonel Craig asks, hey Austin, you ever thought about drilling out those stacks on the jacks? Yeah, I do that regularly. I don't know. If they're mine, I'm not as consistently adamant about doing it, but for client stuff, I'm almost always gonna drill out barrels, drill out everything. So speaking of, we've been getting quite the influx of stuff recently. We're keeping up with it. We're looking to take on even more. I'd love to, by mid-year, have 2 more painters here working in Brush for Hire. I've got some prospective people that I'm working with to try and make sure that they are ready to handle that type of commitment. It's I don't think that a lot of people realize just how much work it is to be a commissioned painter. And I'm not saying that there's not other really stressful, really crazy jobs, and I'm not saying that I don't like painting, because I absolutely love it. I wouldn't do this if I didn't, if I wasn't as passionate about it as I am. But really getting into this thing full scale, you start to see where a lot of the time sink is, and it's in surprising places. One of the things that I didn't realize was going to be so time consuming was definitely in quotes. I thought it'd be easy to write a quote, but yeah, I've burned myself. I've scared off customers probably with inaccurate quotes. And if it's too high, they probably are going to say, "Whoa, dude, no, that's too much for that." And if it's too little, then they'll say, "Oh, well, if it's that cheap, then I'll just throw all this on." And what started off as a small mistake snowballed into something large quickly, because now you've sort of underquoted them for a very large project. But that doesn't happen a whole lot anymore. Just it takes time to research the miniatures correctly and figure out, okay, for this set of miniatures it's going to take me this number of hours to do, so I got to bill accordingly, or quote accordingly. So yeah, it's definitely growing pains right now. That's the phase we're in. We're trying to get bigger and do more stuff and expand our reach and just do more cool stuff for people out there. One thing that we're doing right now is one of the I think fairly prominent figures in the 40K online blogosphere, vlogosphere, whatever you anyway, people of note in the 40K online community that are producing content of some kind. He runs the channel Way of Sam Hain, 40K Fritz, or just Fritz. He is associated pretty closely, I think, with Jawa Balls, and apparently has recently, or has injured his hand, but has recently, according to one of his videos, caused him not to be able to paint for some time. So we responded and said, "Hey, let's help you with that." And we're painting up a pretty big. Well, it's not pretty big. It's actually not that big at all. We're painting up just the Dark Vengeance box, which actually is 50 some odd miniatures, so it's no small project, but they're pretty easy minis to paint, and a lot of it's really repetitious stuff, so it's not like you have to really stop and think and evaluate what you're doing, especially with the chaos stuff. With all those cultists, they can just be all kinds of hodgepodge colors and all kinds of stuff. I think we're going to stick to mostly reds, like a red, black, silver kind of paint scheme, or red, black, gold, depending on if we want to do corn or not. So yeah, it's pretty fun. We just got it in yesterday. We got the box shipped in, and we got it assembled last night. I got them primed. I'm just trying to tidy up a few commissions that are on my bench right now. Handed some of the other ones off to Justin. He's working on some of his stuff, and yeah, lots of goodies on the way, I think. And I'm really excited to see how we turn out this Dark Vengeance box. I want to do it quickly, and I want to do it really well. He had said in his video when he was asking for this that just stick to tabletop standard, and I'm beginning to think that my notion of tabletop standard is different from most people's, and I think that actually plays into a lot of the weird quote stuff that I've been getting into recently, where I think that folks are they're really used to blue table painting. They that's who's been the market for so long. I mean, the other major player, to my knowledge at least, doesn't use the leveling system, so that would be Worthy Painting. I don't believe they do. At least I'm not aware of it. So they may, but I'm just not aware of it. But yeah, they have their own distinct leveling system, and we kind of stick to something like it. We have a 1 through 5, but people tend not to realize that even as low as a level 2 is still pretty darn good. I mean, A level 1, I think, is where, well, it's not even a level 1. We stopped calling it level 1 just because level 1 sounds too basic, and it really isn't a basic paint job. It's, pardon me. It's still multiple colors and some shading and things like that. We've been trying to hammer out some new definitions that are going to be put up on the website, and some new example photos of that level. The new replacement one is called level 2 basic, and then we have level 2 plus. So we're ditching the 1 just because it is the loneliest number and it just sounds bad. You know, a level 1 army. Level 2 basic still, you know, it sounds basic, but I think that it more accurately describes it. For some reason, 1 just makes it sound like it's going to be bad, like it's going to be a crappy paint job. And I'll be honest, sometimes much to mine and my wallet's detriment, I can't let stuff out the door that doesn't look great to me. I mean, I'm willing to sacrifice the level of detail I put into something, but it has to be clean. It can't be messy. It can't be sloppy. There can't be stray dry brushing all over the place. It's got to be clean. It's got to be sharp. It's got to be in focus. I don't want murky, hazy miniatures unless, you know, it's supposed to look like some sort of swamp monster. But I don't know. I feel like I'm ranting on about this. But I think also my OCD is showing a little bit. I don't literally have OCD, so I don't mean to offend anybody who actually literally does, but I do get rather obsessive about my paint jobs. So anyway, while it may be much to my detriment to be that obsessive, it is much to the boon of all of my clients that I can't seem to stick to the leveling system. And I've been working with Justin, my other painter at the moment, and trying to teach him, but at the same time I feel like I'm doing the do as I say, not as I do kind of thing, because, you know, I'll get in a commission for a level 3 and it'll probably easily be something more along the lines of a 4, just because I like it. I think it looks cooler, you know, but it gets hard to let go and stop working, and it's something I've struggled with forever, and it's something that probably every commissioned painter struggles with at some point, but I feel like I'm breaking free more of it every day, being able to say, okay, this is where it stops. We don't have to paint freehand filigree on this. We don't have to paint you know, hairline objects or sliding around the eyes on the Space Marines. You don't have to put the gem dots on something that's like a minimal tabletop standard. It's just one of those restraint things I have to learn. But yeah, that is currently what we are working on, struggling with, having fun learning about, and learning how to do better here at Brush for Hire. Yeah, let me see if I can find perhaps one of the older vlogs. See if I got any new comments on it. Okay, using pure alcohol will cause some paints to gum up. Alcohol should be used in small percentage to break the surface tension of the paint. I prefer a mix of 85% distilled water to 15% alcohol. I got the mix from Mr. Justin at Secret Weapon Miniatures. Yeah, that may be the case, but I don't really have a problem with mine gumming up. And I'm also using 70% alcohol as opposed to 91% alcohol, which is what he was mixing. There's a lot of percentages in there. It's 85 to 15 water to alcohol, and the alcohol is at 91% purity. Mine, on the other hand, is 70% purity, and I mix it half and half. So, but you can take that as you like. Find what works for you. When I'm cleaning my airbrush, I just use straight alcohol. I don't even cut it with anything, and it comes out just fine. Yeah. Wow. Not hardly any questions on that one. Let's see what else we have here. What do we have in this one? Oh, I've seen these questions. Oh boy. Man, it is getting late. It's 1:30 in the morning here. I just finished up working on this lovely right here. So let's take a look at this bad boy. Okay, so did a lot of airbrushing on this guy here, and did some freehand stuff on the front. I really love doing lettering and freehand like this. It's really fun, and I'm loving this color combination. This is actually XV88 and from the Citadel line, and then the little yellow tick highlights are lemon yellow from Reaper. I used this on the Contemptor Dreadnought I did recently for a client, and that turned out really well. And so on this one, I've got these guys magnetized, so they just come off like that. There's magnets in between them, and the little shell guys pop off. And then you can put the flamers on, but I'm just going to leave the heavy bolters on for now. So yeah, I had a good time with this tank. We also did some Sanguinary Priests and some Jump Pack Marines with some Melt-A-Guns and Corbulo, who is sort of posing as a Sanguinary Priest. Let's get him under there. This is one of the minis that Justin painted, my other painter, and really like the work on this one. You can see the little like fluid levels in his whatever these vials are. It's the stuff that pretty much every apothecary carries, and he's got the big nice chalice there. Yeah, really great looking mini. And got some other Sanguinary Priests here. So they're looking pretty snazzy as well. Still got to do the basing on these. Justin usually does not do the basing as of yet, just because I have all the basing stuff in the studio and he works remotely. Why aren't you focusing? There we go. Yeah. Really nice stuff. So, I'm trying to think of what else we've got on the table at the moment that we're working on. We do have this lovely gentleman here. This is one of several Thunderwolf Cavalry for a client, and we've also got a bunch of other stuff for him, including some Sky Talons, I think that's the right term, or Sky Claws, or Sky something or other. And, yeah. Some land speeders and tanks and things, so really love doing fur like this with the airbrush. Really makes a really nice effect, very little effort, honestly. And then also have some Dark Eldar here. We actually have Eldrad, who is painted up like he is a Dark Eldar. He's going to be used as Eldrad, but as an ally for some existing Dark Eldar troops. So I do like the scheme that Justin went with on this. The client gave us complete artistic control, just so long as it looked Dark Eldar like, and very nice clean paint job. And I love the wet blending on the sword there. This was actually intended to accompany or be accompanied by several of the Dark Eldar prisoners, and I think these were supposed to be some part of his retinue. But yeah, tell you, I had the toughest time with the casts on these ladies' faces here. They were pretty awful in spots. Like the lips and things didn't cast right, big bubbles and everything, and had to pretty much fix all that stuff. There's one that just was not salvageable, and I'm gonna have to replace it. So anyway, I think of other projects we have on the way. By the time this is up on Mini Wargaming, we'll have drawn for a second time, unless we have a last-minute miracle. We are trying to give away a 1,500 point army, fully painted, your choice, $300 value for the models at Mini Wargaming, and we'll paint it all up and send it to you anywhere in the world for free. We drew a winner last Friday. That would be January 25th. And never heard from the winner. So we are redrawing on Friday the 1st, and the results will be up sometime during the day. Yeah, still can't believe I hadn't heard from the first one. And I know I'm going to hear from him. He's going to be kicking himself in a couple of weeks when he finally checks his inbox. Hopefully that won't be the case. But anyway, yeah, it was kind of frustrating. But there's also another couple of contests going on right now. So if you guys are watching this on Mini Wargaming, you probably are already aware. There's a video contest that Dave is hosting. Also, Matt is hosting a contest to develop the scenarios for the Dark Potential game book, more or less. Just trying to come up with good scenarios to help make the game more fun and give you something other than just kill each other to do on the battlefield. I think Matt said that you get a starter box of whatever you like for every single one of your entries that is chosen and used. So I'd check that out. I think there's videos in the news section on the front page of Mini Wargaming, and Dave also is running a video creation contest. So there's full rules on the Mini Wargaming site, probably the news section. So just check that out. There's going to be lots of prizes. In fact, we are donating, I think we're doing a fully painted Dark Potential starter box as a prize, and Mini Wargaming is giving away a $500 shopping spree. That's pretty awesome. I don't know anybody who couldn't use $500 of awesome wargaming stuff. And as I understand, just a ton of other people in the wargaming industry are chipping in prizes for this. Everybody from Blue Table Painting and Worthy Painting to obviously us, and I think I saw Wargamer Girl on there, and maybe Wargame Consortium, and Ken from Badger is donating, if I remember correctly, I think 9 airbrushes. It's going to be nuts. There's going to be so many more people with airbrushes out there after this. You know, because even if you don't win, I bet you're going to be so amped to try one out, and hopefully, you know, if you have watched any of my airbrushing videos here on Mini Wargaming, I say here, but you could be watching this on YouTube or somewhere else. But if you watched any of my tutorials in the vault on airbrushing, I think those are a really quality source of information on airbrushing. I may not be an expert, but or I may not be the most definitive source, but I've been gathering information from so many places that I would say are very well versed and knowledgeable. Places like Les from Awesome Paint Job and Buy Painted and all kinds of other stuff, not to mention my own experimentation and learning from other venues that are not really wargame related at all, but more modeling. Learning from some of the tutorials and articles that are written by AK Interactive and other companies like that that really make some really top quality tutorials and learning materials about airbrushing and other advanced techniques, and just finding more ways to incorporate airbrushing into every little thing that I do for wargaming makes it just that much more fast to produce, and still high quality, and still profitable, and everybody gets cool models out of it. So it's a win-win. But yeah, I think I'm pretty well rambling on now. So I hope you guys have enjoyed my long rambling conversation with myself and the camera here, and hope that you tune in next time. We have a live show also on Mondays at 7 now. It used to be at 9 p.m. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's GMT minus 5. And we talk about all kinds of things. And if you want to see us cover something interesting and specific that you don't think that we've covered, or would you like to see a different aspect of, or what have you, post a comment in the previous episodes of the live show, which are posted in the vault, or if you want to see me cover or talk about something here in this vlog, leave a comment here and tell me what you'd like to see. I kind of just talked about myself and what I'm doing right now, but I'd love to share useful and pertinent information with you. If you have questions about techniques, or just general hobby stuff, or even if it has nothing to do with hobby stuff, drop me a line and I'll do my best to answer whatever questions you guys have that you think I'm actually qualified to answer. So until next time, I'll bid you farewell and happy wargaming.